Hej och välkomna ska ni vara till Investor Update. Idag har vi ledningen för Maha Capital som kommer att presentera bakgrund och detaljer för transaktionen med KEO. På länk från Paulo kommer vd Roberto Marchiori och styrelseordförande Paulo Mendonça att presentera och därefter svara på frågor som är kopplade till transaktionen. Och jag understryker då kopplade till transaktionen, och det innebär att frågor som ligger utanför transaktionen med KEO får ni med varm hand då ställa till bolagsledningen via mail som då svarar på dem. Så med det så är det hög tid att gå över till engelska och hälsa våra gäster välkomna. Roberto and Paulo, nice to see you two again. How are things?
Excellent. Thank you very much, Carlo. Good afternoon, everybody. Afternoon. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Well, the floor, gentlemen, is yours. So please take it away.
Thank you, Carlo.
Thank you, Carlo.
Good afternoon here to everybody. My name is Paulo Mendonça. I'm chairman here for Maha Capital. I'm here with Roberto Marchiori, the CEO of the company. And we are very happy here to present to you today about our new transformative transaction to Maha Capital about KEO GTC. So we have here some slides that we will present to the market. And again, a pleasure to be with you all. We have announced last week a transaction with KEO, and the combination of these two companies will really provide a very interesting momentum for Maha. KEO is a very proven fintech platform for B2B credit card business. KEO currently operates under an MX issuing license. And the combination with Maha will provide a robust capital base for giving credit to those business clients. So this combination really puts us in a very strong position to capture this market. We see this market with an extraordinary growth potential. I think one point that is very important here is that our clients are corporate clients in US denominated in US dollars. So it's a very attractive, low risk and a very high yield corporate market with a very important credit card rail brand, and we will be enhancing it up with AI-driven analytics and data monetization tools. So this is a little bit of the introduction here of our transaction. I will pass here the word to Roberto to explain how was our original deal and which is the new format of the deal that we have just announced. It's a conversion. It was an original debt facility agreement that has been converted in a pure equity transaction. So please, Roberto.
Thank you, Paulo. So previously, we were working with a debt facility agreement, which we published around 1 month ago, where Maha will only act as the financier of this structure with up to $100 million loan facility at 12% interest rates, plus a call option feature, which we could acquire 50% of this GTC entity in exchange of the interest rates. And now, with all these changes, we are setting a new equity transaction where will be comprised by the combination of business. So that means a business combination between Maha and the GTC program, followed by additional equity capital raises, which we also press released last week. So here in the right side of the page, we have the structure after all the capital raise is done. and Maha business combination is in place in a way where Maha would be fully owner of the KEO GTC program. Also, when you look the capital structure, we are considering here for the illustrative purposes the fully dilution of the $35 million capital injection, considering the share price at 16 Swedish crowns per share plus the warrants, which we are not considering here this dilution from the warrants, but they will have this right going forward at the strike price, same strike price of the capital raise. At the end of the day, QGTC program will have around $155 million after all these capital injections, which will be attractive for senior lenders to come in and provide all the liquidity support for growing up this portfolio in Latin America. So the business combination basically is to acquire and have 100% of the QGTC program and all the licenses, all the technology, everything that it needs to handle this operation, issuing up around up to 160 million shares to KEO co-investors and others. So thank you, Paulo.
So moving here to the next slide, I think, Roberto, you can also explain a little bit about the transaction timeline and how this transaction is phased.
Yeah, no, perfect. So as I mentioned before, we are doing this transaction in some stages, right? So the idea is to issue an initial capital raise, considering that we have that buffer approved by the AGM, where we intend with these investors execute a capital injection of around $5 million in the next up to 30 days. Giving here a little bit of the background of these investors, we are talking here about NetSpark Growth Partners and Mayberry Investments, which are strategic investors inside this tech business. And then the outcome, considering the FX rate as of today, Maha should issue around 3 million shares, considering this price of 16 Swedish crowns per share. After this first movement, the idea is to call the EGM so we can approve the business combination between Maha Capital and GTC program in a way where Maha will end up a fully owner of the GTC program by issuing up to 117 million shares to KEO World as issue payments. And these 170 million shares will be of also contingency on achievement of operational milestones. So after the business combination takes place during the EGM, we will need to observe and see if these achievements are fully complied. Then we have additional shares of 104 million shares to be issued to cover rights of other investors regarding the loan facility and the call option agreement. So they were already participating in this previous structure, so they have the pro rata rights, and they are able to issue also these 44 million shares as well as together with the KEO GTC warrant holders. And then the third step would be the dual listing and also the additional capital raise. We are seeing here something about $30 million, remembering that the total capital raise is 35, but we are going to make the first capital raise in the direct issue. So that means Maha will proceed with the dual listing in the US NASDAQ exchange, being able to raise other strategic investor doing the capital injection of $30 million at the same price level of 16 Swedish crown per share. So we expect to conclude everything by this potential timeline of next quarter, concluding here the business combination, and by first half of next year, concluding the dual listing process in the US.
Thank you very much, Roberto. I think moving to slide 6, I think this transaction really provides to Maha not only the license capabilities, but also the technical capabilities and also the team that we will also present later to be able to assume the position of the corporate credit card issuer and provide short-term funding to corporate clients. I think this combination of a very robust balance sheet with equity plus these capabilities of a proven credit card platform really puts us in a very strong position to capture this huge market. So here, to illustrate a typical credit card transaction, on a typical credit card transaction, we have the merchant discount rate, that is the percentage fee that the merchant accept on each transaction. We illustratively here putting 3%. And we have three main actors here in this process, right? The first one is the acquirer, who sends the payment to the merchant. These machines that we are very familiar with. The card network that processes the transaction, which is the credit card rail. And finally, the position is that the issuer of the credit. And this is the position that KEO and Maha are assuming, right? And we are providing the short-term funding to the corporate client using the credit card network. And in a typical transaction of 3% of merchant discount rate, around 1.5 stays with the issuer, that is the one that bears the risk of the credit, 0.15 for the credit card rail, and 1.35 to the acquirer that sends a payment to the merchant. So just here to illustrate that the position that Maha and KEO will be assuming is the credit card issuer and lending for this corporate client in US dollars. What is the global trade card? The global trade card is exactly the product that KEO and Maha will be offering to these corporate clients initially in Latin America, Caribbean, and Canada. And we have goals here to really become global. As we explained previously, this is a product that is issued in United States on US dollars, but offered to international market, but subject to US jurisdiction. We are really very excited with the AI integration, really offering clients not only an enhanced control of their spendings, but also very dynamic information for them where are their expenses being used, where in which countries, in which per employee. Remember that these credit cards are also given to employees. And our platform, we also offer them flexible payment terms. Of course, we are here in a position to really provide short-term funding, right? So on a typical credit card, we are always talking about 40 days, but we can offer the flexibility to provide up to 120 days, and this really enhances our portfolio yield by charging client an additional interest rate for this additional period. This credit card is used basically for two main solutions. The first one is what we call travel and entertainment solutions, and the one that we really see the corporate clients and the executives of these companies using it for air tickets, hotels, taxis. So this is what we call the travel and entertainment solutions. And the second one, that is the one that has been showing a huge growth in the last years, that are the B2B solutions, are corporate purchasing cards. This is a virtual card, and this is where we are seeing a massive growth with the massive digitalization of payments. And we're going to see in the next slides some details about the size of this market. But this is a very first organized solution for companies that need that they can really make all their corporate purchase using the credit card, and also they can really centralize all their payments in one payment only, instead of doing several payments during the month. And this is a solution that we're really investing a lot and really a new trend worldwide. Moving to slide 8, I think also explaining here a little bit of how we see this, the potential yield of this portfolio. On a typical credit card transaction, a client transacts in day 0. The credit card rail provider pays the merchant in almost immediately, up to a day. Then KEO pays the rail provider in up to 4 days, and then we receive from the client, and as being the issuer of the credit, in up to 45 days. These short-term corporate credit card of 40 to 45 days provide a target yield of 1.5 to 1.8% per month, which we call it basically the interchange fee. Of course, as we mentioned previously, we can extend terms for client, boosting a little bit this yield. And there are some, in addition to the interchange fee, that is the core here revenues of this platform. We can also monetize through other services such as FX settlement, cross-border payments, spending management solutions, also membership of the credit cards annually. So I think this provides here a little bit of the cycle of the payment, right, of a typical credit card payment, and how our portfolio of credit yields on an illustrative and average yield. Again, in our structure, we are coming here with a very robust check size of equity inside Maha Capital, but this kind of receivables, it's very common in the market to bring senior lending at lower interest rate that can enhance here not only KEO's yield, but also allows KEO to really capture additional clients and much higher volumes. Moving to slide 9, I will leave Roberto here to explain a little bit about how are we seeing our target potential of billings, how can we capture this market, and our potential and theoretical profitability. Please, Roberto.
Thank you, Paulo. So here we are presenting theoretical numbers. So considering the leverage capacity that we can see in this type of business, and considering a hypothetical $150 million cash availability, which we are calling here equity investment, we can see here potential to raise equity to debt ratio of 20% or higher, around $500 million in senior lenders. These investors' profile are very keen to have these lending facilities when it comes to this type of collaterals, which are these corporate clients' receivables. So after you having all this leverage capacity and liquidity, that means we can reach hypothetically $6 billion plus in total annual transactions, which are calling here total annual billings. That means a revolving credit line of around $650 million with an average term of 40 to 45 days, as Paulo was explaining earlier in the previous slide. So that considering the same levels of 1.4 to 1.8% of these billings, we reach to a range of $100 to $130 million potential revenue capacity. And considering the industrial average net margin of around 40 to 50% income, we can see here a room of potential net income of $40 to $60 million a year. And considering also the multiples that you can see of peers of non-trading transaction comps and also transaction online and non-bank lenders, we can see multiples here ranging in terms of enterprise value to revenues around 20 to 22 times. And if you see price to earning multiples around 20 to 24 times the net income. So that's the valuation capacity and range that this program can reach, considering these theoretical numbers.
Thank you very much, Roberto. Well, with this, we have presented this new movement of Maha to really dedicate its balance sheet strongly to this program, not only with very strong institutional investors, also with a very renowned global credit card rail, and with a partner that is KEO that not only has a proven credit card history, but also a platform with an amazing team and an amazing IT infrastructure that will really enable us to capture this huge market initially in Latin America, Caribbean, and Canada. And now we are going to show a little bit of the size of the market. So we have prepared here some slides. So moving here to slide 11, right? Talking here a little bit about our investment thesis. This is a very solid business model with significant room for organic growth. And Maha and KEO here, we are really approaching high-grade clients with a very strong downside protection and proven execution platform, and with a top-notch executive team with years of experience in the sector and positioned to capture all this value creation through AI-driven upside and also cross-selling opportunities. As we mentioned, that yield of the interchange fee really can be enhanced by providing additional services such as FX, such as digital solutions, digital intelligence. Moving here to slide 12, we really show here the size of the B2B market, right? When we look to the total worldwide of the global cross-border payments, we are talking of a market of $170 trillion, right? This is McKinsey 2024. When we look to the B2B share, right, of those global cross-border payments, we are talking of $165 trillion. Of course, this includes all kind of cross-border payments, and this is the market that we believe will be captured within the years that with the digitalization of the payment procedures, this credit card business really can capture a great part of this market. When we look to the B2B worldwide formalized transaction, we are talking here of a $1.6 trillion market. And finally, when we move to the B2B and Latin America share of formalized transaction, we're talking of almost $80 billion transaction. So the business model here, there is a massive migration of payments done by wire, cash, check that will be using digitalized solutions, and this is the market that we want to be in, and again with this combination of equity, cash, and our platform, our credit card platform, we really start very powerful with a very strong position to be able to capture this market. Moving to slide 13. We from getting from the previous slide, the $1.6 trillion of payments transaction. This is a trend that really has high growth, right? We're talking here of projections that would really reach annual growth of around 9%. And when we look to the global credit card payments market side, that is, it's basically the revenues earned by those entities, right? It's also a market that is presenting a very interesting growth rate. I think the credit card utilization is a trend, right? I think also the last 4 or 5 years really accelerated that. I think today we really see even restaurants and hotels don't accepting any more checks, money. So the credit card utilization is really a trend, not only for persons but also for corporations. In the United States, there is a massive growth of companies digitalizing their payments, and when I mean payments, not only the travel and entertainment side, but also cloud services, import of equipment. So it's on this market that we want to grow, and again, as we see here, lots of the countries that we are initiating, they really have intense trading with the United States and US dollars. Moving to slide 14. This business has really proven to be resilient during crisis and remain solid. So I think here we also want to show how the net margins and ROEs of those from the largest payment services, even during pandemic, kept resilient. So we really see this business as a very solid and not subject to market fluctuations. So this is something that we really bring as a very solid business model to our platform. Moving to slide 15. As we are here being focused in the corporate clients, right, that transact in US dollars, we also the kind of investors, sorry, the kind of clients, right, that really use our product, they are high-grade clients, strong credit clients, with not only robust balance sheets, but also with very low default rates when we compare to other banks and also to consumers, right? So this is a portfolio that really has a very low delinquency rate and subsequently very low default rates, which allows also our program to really capture very low financing interest rates. Moving here to slide 16. We are also very happy to have partnered with an amazing team that not only has a very large background and history in this market, highlighting here Paulo Fidanza, that is the CEO of KEO today and the founder. After this presentation, we are going to put a video of Paulo talking a little bit about his history. We also have Roberto Marchiori, that is our CEO, which has an amazing experience in the financial industry in Brazil and Latin America. Gabriel Sinopoli, that has a very long experience in other financing companies such as American Express. And also Aldo Bazan, that is our head of global payments, that also have a major experience here also in American Express. And a very important element here of all transaction is the underwriting, which we have Giovanni Calvi, that hopefully will be also with us in the future, presenting a lot of these presentations to the market. So I think we are very happy with this amazing team that we have partnered. Moving to slide 17, as we have said, we have multiple opportunities to unlock the growth and our yields, not only by using AI tools enhancement, but also expanding to other countries. Another way of increasing this yield are what we call the FX settlement solutions. This is a recurrent problem that we really want to provide very simple solutions of that for the clients on different FX. Remember that our credit card, even though it's a US dollar denominated, but it can be used everywhere in the world. And finally, working capital solutions. I think this is something very innovative that we are providing to the companies, that we can extend terms for, again, always respecting here the short-term profile of it to those clients. With that, we conclude here the presentation. We want here to present to the market also a video that Paulo Fidanza has prepared. I really want to say that we are very, very happy with this transformative transaction of Maha to become a financial player here, focused in providing short-term credit as issuer of credit cards. We have already started providing funding to the clients, so the program is already online. I think this is something that we are very excited with this first weeks and months of this partnership. And finally, I would like to say here some words about KEO and Paulo. I think in life we need to be at the right time, in the right place, with the right people. And I think this partnership with Paulo and KEO is really something amazing. Paulo not only is a brilliant mind, but a person that built an amazing team here. That this business is not only their job, but also part of their life, and a passion for all the team. So I just wanted to say here that we are very happy with this partnership with KEO, and hope we really build a very nice story for the upcoming years. With that, Carlo, we will present the video of Paulo, and after that we will open for some questions and answers. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Paulo Fidanza. I'm the CEO and founder of KEO World Inc. I'm here today because I want to explain to you the transaction that was consummated between Maha Capital and KEO World last week. This transaction is actually the result of my vision and mission that I had since I founded my company, KEO World, in 2020. I founded a company with the objective to innovate and digitalize the world of B2B payments, so that companies could use a credit card to pay invoices and not bank wires, cash, or checks. No? I wanted to make companies more efficient. I wanted to make companies more successful. I want to make companies helping and making an impact in local communities by employing more people. No? That was my objective. In 2022, I launched a program within KEO called the Global Trade Card Program, with the backing of one of my best partners, American Express, being the best network for reliability, for security, but also they are amazing people. So they gave me an opportunity to be an issuer for American Express. They gave me an opportunity to support me with a licensing, an issuing licensing in Puerto Rico, to be able to issue dollar cards to companies outside the United States so they could be more efficient on their corporate travel expenses. Because there is a problem to solve. When a company is in Chile, Indonesia, Japan, Colombia, when they go out and they pay for travels, their employees for flights or hotels, all these expenses are in dollars, but the local currencies in Chilean pesos or in Colombian pesos or in any other currency, but not dollars. So by giving them a card from the US in dollars, we allow companies, and that was the plan, to be able to be more efficient, not incur the FX costs. In addition to this, we also give the opportunity to larger companies to have the data, because it's a global program. We're able for companies, they have a company in Brazil and a company in Chile, to actually have the same card, so in Chile and in Brazil, and now their employees, when they go and spend on the back in the headquarters, they can see by department all the data is in the same format. I started this as the Global Trade Card Program in 2022. I recruited an amazing person that was coming out after a fantastic career in American Express, Aldo Bazan. He was one of the key members of the American Express team that had a similar program called the Global Dollar Card. He came on board to work for KEO. Together with him, we got the American Express license for issuing, and we tried. We tried to launch this program for 3 years, but I couldn't get backing. Nobody wanted to back me because it was a difficult program to back. Why? Well, he's giving credit to companies in multiple regions. And so hedge funds and funders, institutional funders, they normally have restrictions on the number of countries they can operate. So to explain, I'm actually giving a credit card to a company in Chile, but I'm issuing this from the United States. It's a very tough pitch when you're trying to raise debt to do it. Finally, in May, I had the opportunity to meet with Starboard, and they introduced me Maha Capital. And I started discussing with Maha Capital. I presented to them the program, and they shared my vision. They see an opportunity to have a program that was global, giving an opportunity to companies all around the world to maximize and be more efficient all the corporate expenses, giving them a product that would help them to pay for hotel and flights, but also to pay invoices, also to be able to pay dollar invoices, so that the companies now can actually use a digital payment mechanism to pay the imports from the United States. So it's a big deal for all these companies. There is a big need. It's a trillions market there. I'm sure, and you'll see in the Maha people, we share to you data, they back this up. But we're talking about trillions. This is what is the market today for corporate and B2B expenses and payments. Maha Capital saw this. We entered into a first transaction in which they were lending me money, but with an option to get equity. And then when we shared the full vision, they understood that this was an equity play. Why an equity play? We have an opportunity to serve and to generate high quality receivables all around the world. These are all big companies that were going to give these credit cards on a yield of 10, 11, 12%. If you make this an equity play, by having now, as we do in this transaction, $155 million in equity, we're able to leverage a senior debt that is very cheap, on 5, 6%, 7%. This allows us to be consistently generate high quality receivables with almost no default. Again, these are big companies all over the world. These are not consumers, these are big companies. So we can generate these high quality receivables and make a great spread. But it doesn't finish that. Now it comes the tech part. I also want this product, and the Maha people saw it, the vision of introducing tech, AI. I want to be able to introduce AI with my capacity so that I have already 3 patents in machine learning, US issued patents for AI models regarding financial inclusion. They date back to 2016 and 18, so I'm not jumping on the AI wave of today. I started early. So my plan is also, and my vision was to add AI so that we can give a better product. So that when an employee goes and makes an expense, automatically the data is already reported to the headquarters, no matter what, and it will do all the work of, first of all, filling in the report, filling in the ERP of the company, and controlling the rules. So if John Smith is having a lunch in Dubai for a business trip and he's spending $130, the airport, real time, once he pays the bill, will know they spend $130, but he was only authorized to spend $100. And so there is a bucket in which he will have to go and justify why he spent more than what he was allowed. No? This is very important. There's a need for it, there's efficiencies. I want to make companies all over the world more efficient. I want them to employ more people. I want them to help more families and to make an impact. I'm so happy for this transaction. I'm so happy that finally my vision can be reality. I hope that we get all of you your support. Help us with this. Get behind Maha. Thank you so much.
Well, Paulo and Roberto, thank you for that. That was very thorough, I would say. And as always here, we have received a lot of questions ahead of this presentation, and I can see that people are writing questions as we go along. But let me start here by asking, you closed the KEO lending agreement just 4 weeks ago. So what has really changed, and why does you now go for an equity solution instead? What triggered this jump, so to speak?
Thank you, Carlo. So I will start here answering the questions. So once we were looking for the initial transaction, as also Paulo mentioned in his video, we were envisioning this initial phase of the project. But then once you have all the big picture and all these conversations with other investors, we see in more detail the full potential of doing this transaction in the side of the equity business. So considering that, we think this will be more accretive to Maha shareholders thinking on the long term.
I think maybe just complimenting him, Roberto, thank you very much. But also, as soon as we started the debt transaction, I really saw an amazing market to really grow very agile. So the program is already running, and we really see here a huge demand for our product. So when we convert this into equity, then we can really get to the numbers we talk about $6 billion in a much more agile way, because we could leverage the equity position. So I think it's part here of the program is already running, and a huge demand for this product.
And also then, I know you showed some slides of it, but I think it could be worthwhile reiterating there. What is the current revenue of KEO GTC, and what is the growth projections? Obviously that, as much as you can say. So what can you share with us there?
So perfect. Maybe I can answer, Roberto, and you can complement me. But we will, within the next week, start disclosing the credit, the size of our credit portfolio, right? As we said, with our cash position, we really want to be very agile to cap this, our target of 6 billion. Okay, so we will be disclosing it in a very short term to the market. We'll try to make this a recurrent reporting. But with the cash position we have, we really see this demand very, very. I think it's the opposite. Maybe us rejecting potential some credits, not the opposite. So I think it's a little bit of what we're seeing here.
Just complementing Paulo, I think we already have this equity balance where we can already start deploying more than $100 million. We will work here to raise additional finance to support this additional growth, so we can reach more than $6 billion total transactions in a yearly basis. And of course, like Paulo said, our intention is to create also quarterly updates or to show how much in this step-by-step growth in terms of volumes and credit.
And I think one point is important, Carlo, is that the yields, they are very standardized, right? This credit card industry, all those yields that we are mentioning, they're very standardized rates. So we cannot, it's not that we can be very different from what we have explained in the presentation.
Okay, thank you for that. And also, if you can just let's say simplify it, what is the advantage of KEO versus traditional banking here? Is it the issuing in the credit cards or discounting invoices? Where do you think that you can move the most?
Yeah, no, I think maybe I can start answering here, but the great advantage is that we currently operate a license with Amex in the United States, so therefore in US dollar denominated, and we can operate for several countries in Latin and Canada. The advantage we have is that we have this license in US dollars, right? Therefore, we can offer this product everywhere in Latin and Canada, whilst if the same client that has potentially branches in Chile, Peru, and Mexico, we can offer them a complete solution instead of them having to get one specific bank in Peru, one specific bank in Chile, one in Mexico. So I think this advantage is very powerful in us being able to provide a complete solution for those clients. Remember that some of the products here are travel and entertainment, so we can really centralize all their travel in only one product instead of having to have 15 or 20 credit cards with 8, 10 banks.
And here is another question regarding milestones here. So operational milestones regarding the share issues for KEO. You mentioned that you are contingent on operational milestones. Could you describe those milestones for us? And so to put it in another way, what shall the market be looking for when it comes to press releases regarding your achievements going forward?
Perfect. Maybe I can ask Roberto, please complement. Okay, sure. Here we want to the conclusion of this transaction. We really want to include our operational milestones that are cumulative transactions, right? So this is basically the concept of that. Of course, here we are seeing this program really speeding up very quickly. But we really wanted to create the milestone subject to cumulative transactions. So we will be disclosing this very shortly, right, Roberto?
Exactly. The idea is to have everything disclosed during the EGM as well.
And I have a question here regarding the subscription price here, the Swedish krona 16. How did you land in that, given its significant premium to the market price? And also, if you could elaborate a little bit about the dual listing. So start with the share price, please.
Okay, perfect. I will start here and Paulo may complement. But this price was basically actually the strong belief from these investors that we will be anchoring this capital raise. They really see here long-term value creation. So this is actually how they are trying to show how strong they believe in this thesis and this market, and this combination between Maha and KEO having the equity availability since day one, plus the technology and the knowledge of this business, that so we can create this growth path in the US.
Oh, perfect, Roberto. I think I always like to say that the combination of KEO being a proven fintech platform, right, with the credit, with the clients running, with the license, with the technical team, with the commercial team, plus our cash, right? And here, I think Paulo's video was very nice, saying that the equity is a very powerful tool, right, to unlock this value, right? So I think this combination really is a very powerful tool here that we have to unlock this program. And when we see that KEO was one of the first non-bank institution to have a license here from Amex. So what we can offer in Latin, and again, we are Brazilian funds, we really see here a huge market to capture in a very quick term. and we have here the financial capability, right, to do it as well. I think that combination really made some investors really see the huge size that we are talking of, and when we see other companies that are in similar businesses, right, really having fantastic valuations recently. So I think this is what encouraged people to invest in Maha, and hopefully this is only the start.
Come back then to the dual listings. What are the thinking there? Will you be an American company, or is it due to the KEO position as being very, let's say, focused on the US?
No, of course, our main focus will be KEO, a GTC program, and all this credit card history. But the idea of dual listing is also to have the right path to the type of investors and increase our liquidity as well. So we see here a lot of nice features that can be brought for this platform.
Oh, perfect. I think this is a US-centric program. I think we are listed in NASDAQ in Stockholm.
Yeah.
We really see a tremendous value here being this dual listing in United States, not only to bring investors, as Roberto said, but also to increase liquidity and for this US dollar program that we're talking.
And I have a viewer question here, which is a little bit technical, I take it, and rather granular, and it has to do with senior debt facility. The business model is based on, and I would say all lending business here would be based on leveraging the equity with low cost senior debt. So how advanced are your discussion on securing these facilities? And I guess another question would be, with KEO as it is now, do you need to secure more senior debt, or are you quite happy with your situation as you are? This may be difficult to answer, but...
No, I think it's a very good question.
Let me start, and then Paulo can complement. We have already some talks in place. Once we have more details, we will be publishing this to the market. But we have seen so far a very positive acceptance and disposal of financial institutions to support and back up us, considering now that we are having more than $100 million in equity. So I would say that now we are going to this next level where we can see very attractive and low cost debts facilities to support this growth going forward.
Perfect. And again, here the equity is the one that is very powerful, right? That the equity creates this pool of receivables that are very, as we said, very low default, and for the senior loan, this is very standardized market as well, this credit card receivable. So this is also a very, not only standardized, but a huge market on the senior loan businesses, because we have an extreme pulverized portfolio with good clients, low default, and with a very powerful equity cushion here for the loan. So.
And I have a couple of questions here. We had one question where I think one of your slides, 16, perhaps answered there, because you have a team set out for this deal, as I understand it. But will this transaction affect the composition of the board of directors with, let's say, a very new animal within Maha Capital here?
What we agreed so far is that I will be the CEO of this new entity, GTC. Of course, we will bring amazing people, very talented people with several years of experience of other rail entities and credit program. So we will be fully supported by expertise and have this amazing team working since day one. And of course, I would say that board composition could be changed from time to time, depending on this new shareholder structure, but this is up to our shareholders as well to approve.
Mm-hmm. And here is a slightly cheeky question, perhaps, but obviously one could see the idea with you getting into the KEO, but what motivates KEO to enter into this venture? They could have listed themselves, or so. What do you help them with?
Mm-hmm. I think that's a very good question. I think here KEO and KEO's investors have seen a lot of value, not only on having this equity availability, because normally tech companies start doing capital injections by debt, and they migrate after some level of run rate and stabilization to the equity markets. Here, they have seen this equity available since day zero. On top of that, they have seen also a very good relationship here with Starboard, DPO, Maha's team. I think we have a very good pitch. People that likes to work hard and see what is the long-term value creation and how long we can reach in terms of potential. And they can also speed up the process of having this listing by having the Maha platform already listed in NASDAQ Sweden, like Paulo mentioned. So I think the combination of everything is what they attract KEO and KEO's investors to this new transaction. Go on, Tifo.
No, perfect.
Yeah, and then I will round off with one question here, which has been also in written and also here on the screens. But basically, will you become a pure fintech company now? How do you want us in the market to view you? Going from, at least in the name, from energy to capital, you're moving towards an investment company, or help us out here to find peers for you.
Yeah, no, we see those opportunities so huge, so attractive, that we really see Maha Capital migrating its core business to this program.
Mm. Interesting. And the final question would be here, because it's been rather hectic, I would say, news-wise from you guys. What would you like the market to focus on the next sort of milestone? What shall we expect from you, let's say, during the coming quarter, apart from the quarterly?
Yeah, I think the great here KPI and driver for us is this speed that we want really to capture this portfolio, right? We're very enthusiastic in capturing this portfolio that is not only a very protected portfolio, but also with very interesting yield, right? And to clients in our region, I would say Brazil is part of Latin America, other countries, so Canada. So we really want here to be very aggressive in the good say in capturing this market and really creating a very solid portfolio. And hopefully, I think 6 billion, of course, we're putting into the target, but we really believe this program reaching much higher numbers than that within the time. So I think that's a little bit here what we see as a goal.
Okay. All right, Paulo and Roberto, thank you very much. And if there are any more questions out there, we would urge you to contact the company directly. But thank you, very interesting, invigorating, and and a special thank you to all those listening, viewing, and putting the questions forward. So thank you and bye.
A pleasure, Carlo. A pleasure here to be with the market, and we will use credit card to pay investor students as well.
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much. Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.